Sweet. And we should see that in the screen share. Okay, sweet.
All right. I am Dreki Ormer for the Creator Clash Bingo, and I'm here with you fools.
Yeah, what up? Yeah, I'm Tim, better known as You Fools. I'm another player in this bingo event. Yeah. Today we got two pretty closely matched teams, I'd say. We have the Cryptics, and Sigma, who is a Rain World content creator, has put together quite a few community events, as well as just made some classic, funny, just funny videos. Yeah, on the other side we have the Warrior Cats with Cozy, pronouns they, them. They are a Rain World speedrunner and streamer. Pretty solid at the game. Also a grand finalist in the current Rain World speedrunning events bingo. So yeah, pretty up there. And then we have Kian, known as UK Online, who is a streamer and YouTube content creator. Has made some classic video essays and great videos on Rain World Arena PvP with his friends. Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting matchup, considering it's not just an individual player's skill, it's also strategery.
So true. Yeah, so...
Alright, it's about time for us to spin the wheel of Slugcat possibilities. I'm certainly rooting for an Artificer, just because I'm biased, but is there any Slugcats you like to see?
I'd say Hunter, mainly because Hunter has a fun world state. He's consistently fun to play, and I know at the very least Sigma is very well acquainted with Hunter movement and dealing with the map. So I want to see Sigma in his element here. But also not something too unfair, where Artificer can be an absolute menace, absolutely terrifying. Yeah. Although also Saint. I want to see Saint. I hope if we roll Saint that it doesn't get vetoed, because Saint is probably the most fun you can have in bingo. Yeah.
I haven't seen a Saint, so I was wondering, does Saint start Ascended in theirs?
No. Saint can throw spears, though. They deal slightly less damage than monks, and they have an awful arc, but they can throw spears and kill things. It is very fun. It's such a different way of playing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with doing Saint story runs, so I know the tongue mechanics can provide a lot of movement and traversal of the zones, but not even having the ability to fly or ping enemies would certainly make any points or kill goals quite difficult.
Yeah. I mean, the kill goals for Saint can just be absolutely horrible. Especially strawberry lizards, where they're so small that sometimes you can hit their heads while attacking their backs, and especially with the arc, you can come. Your spears will usually come in from above, where they're much more likely to reach the entire length of the body. I can tell you from many very, very long expedition runs I've done with Sigma, that getting kills with Saint sucks. But it's also very entertaining. And I'm very excited to see how people would play it if they were to get Saint.
I would think the best strategy with Saint would be more to mug some treasuries for grenades and use those. I suppose the best things to use that on would be scavengers themselves, and Saint's already a little bit suspicious to them, so I don't know. It would be an interesting problem to have.
Yeah. Well, uh, regardless of the options here, I think most slug cats don't really favor either team. Where maybe you could argue that Hunter probably favors the Cryptics here, with Sigma being a Hunter runner, but really, I think it's going to be pretty evenly matched regardless of who gets who.
Well, that seems a bit ironic, considering I would think the Warrior Cats would have the Hunter advantage, considering their handle.
That is a good point. You never factor in the name power, where although the Cryptic, I guess they would favor Saint then, right? Surely.
Surely, Saint, or I guess I could be convinced of perhaps Spearmaster. Spearmaster's pretty strange compared to many of the other slug cats. You know, they have the built-in Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I think we're pretty much ready to go to spin the wheel. Looks like the teams have marked off that it's time to go, so let's see who we get.
And around it goes. What slug cat does it land on? We shall soon know. Ooh,
Go.
it is the rotund one.
Are
Will
we
the
gonna see a
teams
veto
accept the
here?
gourmand?
Yeah.
The gourmand
would-
is
Yeah.
very interesting. The
Yeah, I would
exhaustion
personally
mechanic can
not
be
do that.
frustrating, but it is a huge advantage to knowledgeable players with the crafting table, making some possible bingo squares very simple. There's also being able to craft a grapple grub can really make your movement much smoother depending on the areas. I believe it's a trick used in gourmand story runs.
Yeah.
It's the only reason it comes to me off the top of my head.
Yeah, where Gourmand, the movement by in its normal state is pretty bad, I feel, but it's also I like to call Gourmand the great equalizer, where most people aren't experienced with Gourmand, and so the players more proficient with movement are going to have just as bad of a time as the people who are less proficient, and so not vetoing here might be a strategic decision to just level the playing field and make everyone much more sort of move at around the same speed. Okay, well,
Oh boy.
there goes that. We're gonna spin again.
It seems we will not have the strong cat tonight. We're gonna have to see who else is up for grabs. From strong to wet, the mouse looks to be our second pick.
Rivulet.
Only Team 1 burned their veto, so it's up to Team 2 if we stick to Rivulet or we see who our third grab is. I would say Rivulet's on the opposite end of Gourmand, where Gourmand sort of, the exhaustion mechanic limits using a lot of movement. Rivulet kind of has the highest skill ceiling for movement.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something I feel maybe even favors Cozy. Yeah. All right. Looks like we're sticking with Rivulet here. This is going to be I mean, depending on the board, this could be an incredibly fast bingo here, where proper splitting and good communication, Rivulet can sweep up massive amounts of objectives, all in like 2 or 3 cycles, depending on what you're getting. So we're really going to see probably Cozy and Sigma speed ahead here, depending on the creature RNG. All right. Yeah, just as a reminder.
Wonderful, beautiful stickers.
Yeah, I do love the I believe Artificer one that is covered up by Sigma's screen of Artie biting down on a massive steak chunk. It's just they look absolutely deranged. It's beautiful. Yeah, just as a reminder, we have our 2 teams here, the Cryptics with Sigma and Knuckles versus the Warrior Cats with Cozy and UK. It is... Oh. Stream's having a bit of lag, but it's not much of a problem. Yeah. So this board is not the one we're sticking with, I believe.
I see. All right, we'll have to
Um,
wait a second for it to be. Are they refreshing the whole board, or are we going for targeted changes?
uh, yeah, I believe giant jellyfish with spore puffs is a pretty interesting goal.
That is
Considering only ferry
exotic.
4, you can ferry 3 per room. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, 1 would be very funny, but that sort of objective is incredibly hard. I mean, our center square I don't think is changing here. The Vista Point and Pipe Yard. Um, I think it's a very interesting center square because 2 of the Vista Points and Pipe Yard are in really awkward positions. They force you to really commit into Pipe Yard, which is a region that's notoriously annoying to get out of. Where really depending on which of the 3 Vista Points, you have one that's right near the sort of center shelter of the upper side of Pipe Yards that's really convenient to get to. You can tap that and then just climb back out and sleep immediately. Whereas the other 2 are below, heading towards the entrance to, I believe, Subterranean. They're in very, very awkward places that once you tap them, there's not many good places to go to get out. You're kind of trapped there for a very long time. And so usually we're used to seeing center squares that are sort of easy to grab and are race to because the center square, of course, is the only square on the board that enables, I believe, 4 different lines.
Absolutely. I'm actually really eyeballing that top right to bottom left diagonal as it currently is cool. Seems very dangerously easy with 2 Vista points, the purple pearl, dodging Leviathan, and grabbing a honker. I call them honkers, but a yeek from out of farm arrays.
Mm,
That seems
yeah.
somewhat easy compared to all the others that I'm seeing off the top of my at a first glance.
Yeah, you get a farm arrays is one that can be completed. All you have to do is cross towards subside of farm arrays, and the yeeks are spawning in Rivulet at the gate. So you can grab one and head straight through immediately, and then sleep at the top, or near the or at the bottom if you drop down the pit. So it's probably one you'd go for later, but it's one that can be grabbed immediately, and it's very hard to contest once you reach the area. Where some other objectives, maybe you reach Subterranean and it's still annoying to get to. Um, but yeah, it's a
And we'll have
shockingly
to.
easy one for Rivulet.
There's also the double Leviathan goals. One for dodging it, but there's also the one with the rivulet orb. So that could be an easy twofer.
Mm. Where feeding a bomb, the bomb pretty much to the Leviathan is one you can only grab, and you grab nothing else that cycle. So the 1-2 punch has to come within a 2 cycle period, where if that thing is getting eaten, you're going to die if you're in the room. It's pretty much unavoidable.
It looks
So
like they've replaced the center one.
yeah. Oh, kill 4 cyans.
4 rocket lizards. Interesting. Speed versus speed. And Ruffles outrace the turbocharged lizards.
4 cyans. I can't think of. I guess it would be just Chimney Canopy, where there's 4 cyans within a single region. Is that even right? For Rivulet? I don't believe there are enough in industrial. Oh no, there are. I am silly.
I mean, yeah, there could be. There's also the absolutely toxic pre-cycle manipulation. If you have no sanity and want to look at spreadsheets and calculate exact timings, you can get an extra 2 spawns.
That
would not recommend it. It would certainly be a high skill flex.
It's a flex. It also sort of dooms that region to being an absolute mess to navigate. If you were to ever go back there, especially if it's industrial, you don't want to make industrial more of a pain to get through because chances are you're going to cross through that region 4 or 5 times if you're trying to sort of stay within that central section. Yeah, I'm also eyeing this bottom right corner just with these 3 vulture grub objectives. I find it very funny.
Yeah. Especially all clustered together. I'm wondering if we're gonna see some changes there.
Yeah,
Or if they're gonna
where,
leave
I mean,
them.
moving the grub through 4 regions and then putting it into the pit is something you'd probably do in one swoop, because 4 regions is a massive commitment. Of course, unless you
Yeah,
just
I
have it
mean,
swallowed and start having a wander.
you've got your chimney. You swallow the live one, eat the 2 dead ones right there. You know, you go through industrial, down through outskirts, drainage, subterranean. Yeah, you'll get your 4 cycles. Drop it. Although it feels like you probably would kind of dead end yourself. Well, I guess you'd be down in subterranean. That'd be a perfect time to go over to dodge the Leviathan. I think it could be routed, but it would be very ambitious.
Anything else here that's looking particularly interesting? We have the chimney canopy vista. One vista I
Yeah.
really enjoy because, much like Pipe Yard, you have one that's like completely reasonable to get to, and the other 2 are noticeably more committal. One of those vista points being in the middle of the massive jump you take to go to the right side of Chimney Canopy. If you're deciding to go up round the outside towards the Vulture unlock section. It is a huge commitment to get onto that right side of Chimney Canopy because it's just so much up and down climbing. Whereas the other one is right near the Golden Pearl, which you can easily go up and tap and then run back down.
Ooh, it looks like they've replaced one of the vulture grubs with pinning scavengers in garbage waste.
That is a wonderful objective. It's one that is easy on paper, but killing 3 scavengers within garbage waste is just a bad idea.
Well, we do see there is a bomb, the garbage waste hole up at the
That is
top.
true.
So one could bomb, finish murdering the rest of the scavengers and go for the pins there. It's still pretty dangerous engaging in CQC with scavengers as rivulet.
But I mean, if
I
anyone
don't
can
know.
do it, it's the wet mouse.
Sure. I don't know. Again, party bias coming out here. Cards on the table. I like my concussive blast and my bomb jump death from above.
I am also eyeing the 2 pink lizards hit with bombs here. A lot of explosives along the top row. Although jetfish into subterranean seems very unlikely. I'm not even sure it's something that you can pull off as rivulet. I guess you could with specific movement, but it's through like the shoreline gate.
Is that jetfish or?
That's a jetfish into subterranean.
Okay. I
That's
mean,
probably not happening.
there's plenty of jetfish in shoreline. You just take the shoreline to. Well, wait. Never mind. You can't get them up that dang. I don't think you can get them up that little ledge. That's annoying. Yeah.
Well, that is likely to change as well. What else is intriguing here? Do we have befriend a white lizard? I'm not sure about the white lizard stats for befriending. I believe they take usually 2, 3. Let me look that up.
What's their usual food is my question. Let's see here. White lizard, what do you want to eat? Yeah, centipede. Centipedes are always good. which means industrial. How is industrial for white lizards?
I mean, industrial, you have plenty of
Yeah,
center
you got a
wings that you
couple.
can feed as well, which white lizards are a big fan of. Um, although I don't think that there's nothing that would instantly uh, befriend them, is there?
Not instantly, but there's always just a quick refeed.
True,
I don't think
true.
it's
I always
too
forget about that.
bad.
That you can just convince the lizard that he's having a banquet by just stealing food out of his mouth repeatedly.
Actually, there's is there a few white lizards in garbage waves?
Yes, they should be along the surface side. I
A
remember
little
running
far
into a
away.
yeah. There's
I
two.
was I was thinking, kill some scavengers, take their bodies to tame the white lizard, but that would be a long drag.
I mean, hmm. Thinking
Oh,
about
that's
the line here.
defend a caramel. Ooh. Ooh.
Befriending a caramel lizard is another interesting one, though those guys are
That
pretty
is
chill if I recall.
dicey. They have some very silly jumps, but their spit is very annoying. Still can feed them centipedes, still the universal lizard food. So, um, actually, there's a couple caramels in industrial. So again, I mean, going to get one of those centipedes down in the little pipey area in the lower part of industrial, taking him over to tame a caramel lizard might be the play. The problem I think would be getting it to a shelter after taming it. Industrial is not
I
conducive
believe for
to.
befriending, you don't actually have to get the friend. You just have to make it tame. You feed it, and then it should trigger. And if you sleep from there, you should get the progress.
Okay, that simplifies it a whole bunch.
Yeah, I do remember in my own practice befriending a green lizard by handing him a squid carder and then just going to sleep, ignoring my buddy and still making the progress. So you just have to sort of feed them enough that they're considered tame and your friend.
Yeah, caramels are on the easier side of taming, at least like reputation wise. The difficulty is going to be getting the jumpy boys to actually chomp on the food itself. As long as they can do that.
Yeah, there are plenty of center wings along the surface side that you could easily drop down and take two caramels that spawn on the underside. Where it's really not that unreasonable of a position to drag them into. There's also the centipede spawns right above a caramel spot, right next to the scav stash. In industrial, where you can easily just chain in, drop the food in for your buddy, and go sleep immediately. That's very convenient to get within a single cycle. What other square looks
These are doing.
quite appealing here?
Well, so far the board is looking to be quite varied. So it's going to be interesting to see these strategies our teams decide to go with and how they might want to split things up. Because there's kind of things that want you going all over the place, from leviathans and shoreline, or subterranean, sticking to industrial, going to garbage wastes. There's a lot of grubs that tend to be up in chimney canopy. There's the old neuron to moon.
That's going to be changed.
It seems nobody likes those dead end.
I mean,
Dead
Neuron to
end
Moon is nice to
ones.
have around, but Rivulet specifically, Neuron to Moon is a bit more of a chore. Where, I don't believe anyone would like to enter the rot as a choice in Rivulet unless they're attempting to remove his brain, or his beating heart, I should say. Although we will start with the core, since so the rarefaction cell, because we have the Leviathan chomp objective. So being comfortable with the rarefaction cell might be a huge difference maker in movement within within the rivulet, within the bingo run, because rarefaction cell completely changes the way you want to move with rivulet and the things that are like objectively fastest for you to go for. Especially vertical movement. Going up chimney is going to be mighty convenient with your anti-gravity balloon. Yeah. In terms of other things here, 5 Batnip is quite the commitment. Remembering where some of those are, I believe the Batnip spawns change. Oh no, they don't.
I always remember the 2 in industrial on the way to garbage, and then there's a couple in outskirts.
I believe that's
It's usually the only ones I remember.
There's 2 near, sort of in the midpoint between the chimney canopy and shaded gates in industrial, and there's 1 towards garbage side of industrial.
Oh, it is 1.
Within outskirts, there aren't many good options. You're sort of forced to go into very dangerous situations and into long committal rooms to reach some of the Batnip. Where it's not too convenient to get, though you can get all 5 between outskirts and industrial. Though there may be some interesting tech or locations that I'm unaware of. Where, you know, maybe
I guess
one
Pipe Yard
person
does
here
have a
is
lot.
Pipe Yard expert. That is true. Pipe Yard is the place for Batnip. There is 5 within 3 rooms on the right side of Pipe Yard.
I mean, it would actually be pretty good to go for, because you could grab like a good 4 or so, as well as going for the pearl.
Yeah, this also sets up these 5 Batnip in Pipe Yard are right near the gate to Sky Islands as well, which is a region that has a lot of popcorn plants in it that you could travel through. That's one part of Sky Islands that is generally underrated, is just the amount of popcorn plants you'll get. Just along sort of the top side heading towards farm arrays, there are 5 that you can pop if you're taking a bit more of a roundabout side. Sorry, I say 5, there are 6 along that route that you will have to pass. So it is a very, very good spot for it. With another 2 right next to the gate, like on the underside as well, that are easy to get if you're heading towards the farm array side. So, I mean, Pipe Yard here is not looking like that bad of a region.
Okay, it looks like there was the don't eat blueberries. Looks like they're changing it to don't eat blue bubble fruit. Oh, looks like they're doing another change on it. Maybe?
Could be. I believe this is our only don't do a thing in this board, where those free square lines are usually very, very appealing, since you don't need to go for an objective. Where, honestly, looking at this left side, you could pretty easily get a Squid Carter kill in farm arrays. Befriend the Caramel Lizard in farm arrays near the outskirts gate using one of those Squid Carters, or maybe a Scavenger from the toll side, and easily just run directly over towards Subterranean. You'd grab that Yeek objective and then drop in to go feed your rarefaction cell, or maybe you'd split off to go for that. This left side column is actually looking pretty nice in that regard.
Yeah, I think the
any
left
other?
column is feeling a lot better than the second row. Mostly, I'm looking at the store 3 beehives, and the annoying part of that is having to. I believe you still have to spore puff them, or else they're just going to release all the bees upon you, which can be very
Yeah.
annoying. So you need to get a spore puff and transport it to a beehive to be able to make progress on that, which is a pretty big wrench, I think, compared to the left column's
Mm.
bingo objectives.
So it's not too bad of an objective to get. This is another thing that can easily be done near the outskirts gate and farm arrays, where you're going to have a lot of spore puffs and you have a room right outside with the caramel lizard with squid carters that has 3 beehives in it right after your spore puffs. You could easily pop that, grab those beehives, head back to your shelter, befriend the caramel, and sort of begin to make your way over towards subterranean. And all of that can be happening very, very reliably once you hit the outskirts side of farm arrays.
Is a good point. I don't go up in that upper area too often, but you are correct. There are the spore puffs all right there, and I believe just making it to outskirts, yeah, uh, uh, is one of our objectives. So, very interesting. Of course, all of this is going to get more complex once our players actually spawn into the game, because your starting place can also greatly affect your strategy as far as where you want
Absolutely.
to blitz.
All right.
All right, it looks like we
Um,
finally have our board locked in. Um, we have a good variety.
I I mean the Spore Puff 2 egg bugs as well is something that can be easily done within farm arrays, I believe. Although I'm not sure of where egg bugs spawn. I swear they spawn with other
This
characters, but they may not exist specifically for our
does
boy Rivulet.
there's the outskirts down near drainage. There's that bug that still spawns, but you'd still
I
need to
guess it
get
would
spore
be
puffs over there.
you could swallow Spore Puffs and then head back into Sky Islands to grab those ones that are always near the Sky Island side, near the farm array side
True.
there. Where I mean the side of the right side of farm arrays into Sky Islands into outskirts just looks so nice here. There's so many objectives you can claim. I mean you can grab scav trays even within Sky Islands, but you can also grab your spore puffs on egg bugs. You can grab popcorn plants. You could easily pick up a vulture grub and head towards subterranean within farm arrays by heading right through that upper room with the caramel lizard. Um, it's a very, very appealing looking side of the board to just hang out in farm arrays for a long time. Although garbage waste also covers quite a few of these.
That center square being changed from cyans into caramels, I think, is a pretty brutal upgrade in difficulty, both
Yeah,
in finding them, but also fighting them, because caramels are as tanky as green lizards. Um, but the spit and jump, like sometimes the jump is very silly, but every once in a while, they will get you if you're not paying close enough attention.
yeah. I mean, the main thing to consider about caramel lizards is, at the very least, they have a very hard time moving across the ground for the most part, and so once you stab them with the green lizard, you may sometimes be worried that after you hit them a few times, once they're in their injured state, they might be able to actually make their way back towards a shelter. With a caramel lizard, they never pounce away from things, and so once you start hitting them and they're injured, they're probably not getting away.
True. And you could also spread out your caramel rampage. They do go down to one explosive spear, just like green lizards. So one could tag one going from industrial towards pipe yard, going into the scavenger stash to grab an explosive, take care of the caramel down there, and
Yeah, you
then
could easily get
come
two within
back
that
through.
section.
Yeah. I would certainly want to rely on. I usually, industrial to outskirts is usually one of my favorites for getting all those locked in.
Industrial
We'll
to
have to see.
Outskirts is certainly a favorite for pretty much every bingo player, I believe.
It's hard to go wrong with your industrial and your outskirts. It gives you some good flexibility.
Yeah, it's littered with most creatures in the game and just a whole bunch of objects. I mean, it has karma flowers, it has firecrackers. I mean, even industrial has a couple beehives that you could go for. If
no
you
spore puffs to suppress
yourself
them,
there.
though, is the problem.
That is true.
There's also the Sky Islands Echo. All right, and
Alrighty.
we're going to be getting started shortly and seeing where we spawn. All right, we got our timer going. Oh, it looks pretty dark.
This could be. I genuinely don't know. I'm assuming it's shoreline.
Oh, 5
Underhang.
petals. Underhang.
This is not too bad to get out of with the rarefaction cell. I think every single person here will be heading immediately left to get out of the underhang as quickly as possible via the wall. But this spawn immediately opens up the opportunity to go for this chimney canopy echo or head towards Sky Islands and start grabbing objectives there.
Yeah, we have Knuckles and UK taking roughly the same route, but Sigma instead is going up, while Cozy looks like they want to hang out back at the shelter. I think they're trying to strategize as far as the route they want to go.
Looks like Knuckles has been
Knuckles
grabbed.
getting glooped by a Wiggler. Unfortunate.
Happens to the best of us, and Sigma now having to deal with the same situation here.
Ooh, making their way past the Wiggler. Trying to dislodge them with some Pipel juking.
It looks like Kia no Uke has decided to hold on to the rarefaction cell, while Cozy has abandoned it immediately and is moving along.
Very interesting. Already having a pretty big divergence for each of our players. We're going to have to see once they get out of this danger zone of the underhang. I think that might lend themselves to going towards Sky Islands. But I guess whoever gets out first is going to have a big advantage as far as the race to industrial / outskirts as well. So they may want to focus on that.
Yeah, as we see Sigma and Cozy roughly 2 rooms apart, while poor Kian here has dropped into a position where I'm shocked they're alive. Is there what? How are they living right
almost...
now? Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's the area with the orange ball.
Oh my goodness, the off-screen orange lizard ball.
Yeah, they were able to recover. That was pretty fun to see them popping up off screen.
I completely forgot that's in that room. That actually terrified me. I thought they were just being given a free extra platform there.
Well, Knuckles making it past the Wiggler this time. Accidentally dropping their rarefaction cell when trying to go through the pipe.
Sigma going for an absolute schmoove here. Big mistake.
Wow. Unfortunately, Rivulet cannot actually fly, and they have fallen to perish.
But Cozy with the grapple worm has made that jump at about the same time. This is a huge loss for Sigma here. Cozy is now way more on track to get out of Underhang.
Yeah, going for the grapple worm does give Cozy a different movement capability. They're gonna pretty much be giving up the 1 square for the rarefaction cell in the Leviathan situation, but it's only 1 square when you've got an entire board to color in. And I mean, the first mover's advantage for getting out of underhang could see Cozy make out like a bandit.
Sigma here falling for the classic bait of using the jump boost out of the pipe in that section of Rivulet and going straight into the rot that is waiting only if you do the jump boost.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with Pebbles as wall candy. It's a little bit more dangerous than lead paints. It tends to really hold on to you. UK is also trying to figure out this whole little wraparound space is proving to be a large obstacle for our players.
Cozy falling to their death.
Oh no! Knuckles actually also looks to be opting for the grapple grub strat, although they seem to be a little bit turned around.
Maybe looking to... Oh no.
Ooh. It looks like they wanted to hang 10, but now they're 6 feet up? Can't really go 6 feet under for its ceiling goop. Our players returning once again to 5 Pebbles'... I guess 5 Pebbles is sort of being like Jigsaw here. And all of our players are playing a game.
This is a very interesting cope start. Where I think no player is in a good position here. Cozy doing an incredible juke here, but they immediately pounce using that extra movement.
Womp, 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 wah.
This is... Okay. It looks like nobody was happy with that.
Pulling a mulligan on the spawn.
This was bound to happen. That is...
All of our players are tapping out. I don't know. There's something to be said for making the best of a rough situation, but it can be demoralizing to constantly perish, plus the karma loss, trying to get through gates in that situation when you're knocked down to karma 0.
Yeah, that is just absolutely devastating. There was no nice way out of that. And so, I mean, opting to restart, I understand completely. You can't get much worse than that. Although, who knows? the bingo gods giveth, and they also taketh away.
You can get Metropolis as Survivor and Monk.
Yeah. I mean, we could also get Middle of the Rot, but if that happens, we're going to quit out immediately.
Look, all I'm saying, they're Rivulet. You've got an entire underwater environment down there. Start in the Silent Construct. What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, Submerged Superstructure is a wonderful place to start. Genuinely not nearly as bad. Especially starting with the rarefaction cell, you can just zip right out of there.
Is this Farmarays far left? Farmarays, but not the one I thought it was.
This is a
very
really
interesting spot. Hold on, let me zoom on over to where we are.
This middle of Farmarays gate is very, very good for snatching up a lot of objectives.
Oh yeah, they can drop down and go for the popcorn plants, I think. They can stay upwards.
You can grab 4, even 5 if you have a bit of movement. If you take that hidden pipe. Looks like nobody's going for it.
It looks like both teams are splitting up, one up and one low. We see Sigma going down, and I think Knuckles going to the right.
With this reflection cell, they can also just completely dodge all of the worm grass, pretty much.
And that's a good point. Well, it looks like Knuckles is also going to be going the right path. Okay, now Cozy's once again abandoning the rarefaction cell and going down. I think they're going back for that colored pearl. Yes, they are.
Sigma appears to have... thrown their refection cell into the wall.
Interesting.
Where their refection cell has completely disappeared. They do get a spore puff on an egg bug immediately. This is pretty huge if they can bank it. I didn't actually notice where they picked up their refection cell. I think I might have rolled back while I wasn't looking. And now, after catching up after a bit of lag, Sigma is
Sigma's in danger.
Very bad spot.
They got bead right on Wormgrass. Will they be able to wiggle out? We'll have to see. Oh, they just need to break a couple more. Oh, Sigma lives. That was a very close one. UK, already almost into outskirts, making a
popping
line.
In. Probably going to bank their progress first. Not worth holding off here. Just looking for a spare to pop that popcorn plant, grab some food and sleep before heading in towards it. Although, are they actually?
It depends. It looks
really
like
debating.
Cozy has made a friend with a caramel already.
I mean, pretty brilliant. Just grabbing. Was it a centipede and?
Yeah, just a small centipede. Absolutely, just a couple feedings, and they've already got it. We'll have to see if they can rest to lock things in. It looks like they're going for the tame strat to get past all of these caramels, leaving them little centipedal presents. Sigma has caught up to UK. Also going back, looking for a spear, it looks like.
Yeah, Kian, I believe, has gone and grabbed grabbed a weapon. Oh no.
Sigma found a popcorn plant first. UK's didn't find any spears, deciding to continue on and not even rest. Actually could be pretty big-brained because they're going to get into the outskirts and then they can get their first rest in the outskirts. The question is, how are they going to pay for the scavenger toll, or are they just going to rarefaction cell and send it? They could.
Yeah, no teams. It looks like maybe Cozy opting to go towards Sky Islands here, or at the very least banking and moving towards the toll side.
Cozy's going to give them their first point on the board. Oh, they actually ate grubs as well. I must have missed. I didn't realize there were so many grubs up there.
Yeah, surely aren't there only 3? Well, I didn't realize there was an absolute grub banquet on Farmer Ace CO1 here, right next to the shelter.
I think right now Warrior Cats are doing a real good job of splitting up so they can spread out the objectives. We'll have to see if the Cryptics can both split up as well once they get out of the Farmer Raise zone.
Right, the pearls are on the left side of the gate, on the left side of the toll, just allowing free passage for Sigma. Although they do have to go back and grab the refection cell if they're going for this route.
Absolutely. Knuckles does have a lot of spore puffs. They're probably going to be getting the egg bug. I think they're hunting there. Yep, they're going to get that one right there. UK is still going through outskirts, has not rested to claim their first movement there. Cozy making their way. Ooh. That's a scary caramel lizard.
Sigma here grabbing the outskirts pearl. Just giving it a little tap and now grabbing some food. Although it looks like Kian's going to lock in this. Oh, unless this caramel blocks his path completely. Kian's in a much better position to go and sleep here.
Oh, it looks like Cozy is doing some violence on a caramel lizard?
Also managed to pop an egg bug, I believe, with a spore puff.
I think it's going to be too little too late. Knuckles already has all the puffed bugs possible. They just need to rest to lock it in.
Yeah.
Oh, that scavenger escaped the kelp over on Sigma's screen. Very interesting.
It's a miracle. It looks like Kian's taken the longest route possible while Sigma's gunned directly towards the shelter. Although he needs that rarefaction cell.
Uh-oh. Is Sigma going to get greedy going for one of those caramels, or is he going to rest and lock it in? Oh, there's a cyan lizard threatening Yuki.
That is so unfortunate. Kian's going to see that lock-in just as they enter the shelter. That is devastating.
Blocked by a cyan at the last minute as well. Unfortunate. I wonder why they went for such a long shelter if they have another plan. I wonder if they're going to go for the use that shelter for the bat fly or the bat lures, but again, that's not a good one. There's not a ton in outskirts alone. I don't know.
Looks like Knuckles was going for the transport a white squid carder through 2 regions here. He's grabbed one of the farmer raised ones and is moving across, banking in that egg bug progress now. Oh no! Yes, that is the egg bug progress for the Cryptic.
Yeah, Knuckles. Yeah, Knuckles had both of them. So right now that middle row's looking dangerous. But I think Cozy is the only one with a caramel kill so far. And also the Chimney Vista and Sky Islands Echo are both pretty far away. So I don't think it's too dangerous for the Warrior Cats at the moment. It looks like Yuki is getting the fly lures, which is likely why they went for that far outskirts. I'm not exactly sure what they're... I mean, I guess they could grab 2 stomach 1 and go to industrial to get 2 more for the total of 5, but it would be very ambitious and dangerous to do so.
Cozy here making good progress on moving the squid carder. I wouldn't be surprised if they rushed straight towards industrial here to lock it in, but no, they dropped. They're going to
grab that pearl. That's 2 for them. They're going to go up. Oh, they're going to take it to industrial. Grab the 3rd industrial pearl, and that will give them the 3 coloreds.
Sigma here popping popcorn plants in industrial. Already locked in 2. There are 3 more they can grab within industrial, and if they were to move into chimney canopy, I believe they'd just get their 6th immediately. If they wanted to go for an absolute run.
Yeah, with the rarefaction cell, it's pretty easy to jump up to the one to the couple over near Shaded as well. I don't think you'd need to do too much to go through those pipes and such to get up there.
Yeah. Knuckles looks like they've pivoted off moving that squid carder and have just gone for getting the beehives.
Go for beehives, yeah. No one else is going for it, so it's going to be pretty free for them.
It's a pretty safe option for them as well, since based on what's currently going on, this is the first block placed on the board against this red team.
Yeah, that's a good one to block both the 2 row and the E column from red.
Yeah.
It actually make the bat flies that UK is going for more important, because that will give them a block on blue for row 2. Prevent either side from getting a bingo. Oh no, Yuki! There's double caramels in that room and a green.
It's a very wonderful looking green lizard. Getting spat at and jumped at. This is and a vulture's into the room.
It is a fiesta for Yuki, and they are having none of that.
But colored pearls here locked in for blue team. I believe that was Sigma.
Yeah, I guess Sigma moved faster. Unfortunate for Cozy. I guess the taking the time out with the Squid Cicada really slowed them down from tapping that last industrial pearl. Unfortunate.
Also something of note, I believe now both players on the Warrior Cats have abandoned the refaction cell. Though here's the Squid Carter lock-in. This is good news for Knuckles, considering they decided to make the pivot here.
Yeah, and it looks like
justifying the
Cozy
decision.
was. I think I saw Cozy hovering over the hazer. We might see them go down for the hazer that spawns in Industrial, and pocketing that to carry to Subterranean, if they happen to go that way.
Sigma popping, I believe, his third popcorn plant. Now heading in towards the shaded side, where two more are. Although he's getting the refaction cell first, of course. While
Still
Knuckles
holding
is
on
still
to
in
it.
farmer race. I'm not sure what Knuckles is going for now. I believe they just need to lock in the beehives. Unless they were going for a second pass, first dropping some beehives in the shelter before coming back around to get the third.
Maybe. I believe they do have all of them. Yuki grabbing some more fly lures. I'm wondering if they might be getting all of them from outskirts. I don't know the spawn rate of fly lures off the top of my head. I don't think it's very long. Or I guess they might have perished and had to go back and get them.
Sigma has popped all of the shaded side popcorn plants and is now attempting to appease a scavenger as they cross here. Where scavengers famously are absolute menaces when in the set of rooms.
Yeah, I think Sigma's going to grab the enter shaded as well, because they are fed and there is a shelter right there.
This also blocks off the bottom row.
This is going to be interesting.
I'm shocked nobody's gunning for this kill caramels objective. I think that center square is just so important here. Where I think honestly it's worth taking time away from other objectives to get that center square off the board. Especially if you've already banked 1 or 2 kills, just going to grab an explosive spare and killing any caramel lizards you run across is just the best way to move around at this point, especially if you've abandoned your two-handed objective. It looks like I was wrong. Kian is still holding on to the ref action cell as well and entering Industrial now.
Interesting. Sigma not opting to lock in the shaded and going very deep into it, whereas Cozy is making their way up to Chimney.
Maybe looking to tap that Chimney Echo, but also maybe interested in heading up towards Sky Islands to grab some objectives around there. Like that Sky Islands Echo. This also would potentially lead you towards Subterranean if you're looking to go there. Maybe bombing a pink lizard is also something that's on the cards if you're heading towards that scav stash on the right side of this bottom side of Chimney Canopy.
True. Cozy going over. Oh, they're grabbing the grub. Probably going to see them stomach that and go down towards Subterranean. Or they might just keep it in their stomach for later.
I think Sigma locking in the enter shaded here and the popcorn plants is going to dissuade them from this path where, unless you're going to go for points, which isn't an objective on this board. It is an objective on this board.
Yeah,
actually.
there it is.
Yeah. Going for points, so going for, say, a vulture cheese. Holding on to the scrub isn't that helpful anymore. Looks like Kian's also in a fun spot. Plenty of
once
lizards,
again having a party zone.
Looks like Kian's really been trying to get as many people into the same room as possible at all times.
It will be interesting to see who is going to go to garbage wastes first, because that's going to be another area with a lot of potential cards. You know, we have the pin scavengers in garbage waste. We have the bomb, the garbage waste. Toll, it'd also be an easy way to rack up a whole bunch of points. You need to give points to scavengers, so you can do that before you do a whole bunch of violence on them. We'll have to see.
Looks like
Cozy might
Cozy's
actually be going
points.
for points. Because
Yeah.
they're just going on a murder spree over there. Need to be careful of that Centowing, though. They've been on screen for a good while. It's probably getting aggro soon.
Although it is being absolutely munched.
Oh yeah, it's probably eviscerated.
Yeah. Looks like Knuckles' hair is locking in the beehives.
Sigma looks like they got
death.
mobbed. I hope they don't have arachnophobia, because those coalescapeds are chittering and skittering.
All right.
Knuckles locking in their bees.
The Cryptic's
Blue
here
has
taking
a
pretty
pretty
commanding
good lead at the moment.
Yeah. Cozy heading up towards the Chimney Vista Point 1. If it isn't here, the other two options are very, very inconvenient. Especially the furthest away option here, committing to that
There.
side. Oh, it
Yeah,
looks like it is actually up here. Although
they
they have...
slipped out of the pipe. Oh no! But they know it for sure. It's there, which is a very short jaunt. It's just unfortunate they lost all that points progress. Looks like Yuki is also headed towards Shaded. Knuckles still playing around in Farm Arrays. I'm surprised they're not going to get a Yeek, because they are the only person left. They're grabbing a Hazer? Or
I believe Sigma
Squidstacata?
is trying to head towards Shoreline with this refaction cell to get the Dodger Leviathan and feed Leviathan the refaction cell here.
Good point. They're kind of the only person who can do that. Everyone else has kind of abandoned their rarefaction cells.
Where I
Cozy
believe
ignoring
if they
all
get this, they could
points.
easily just passage away and make this not too bad of a commitment. Yeah, Kian's still holding on to theirs. They're just making a lot of trips away from it since they need both hands to hold weapons. But they are now heading in towards Shaded, I believe.
Cozy taking it nice and smooth this time to make it up to the Vista. We'll have to see if they will backtrack or head up towards Sky Islands as far as their point of rest.
Sky Island's still an appealing spot because of the scav trade, the scav merchant trading option. With the pearls that you can find around Sky Islands, you can
absolutely
abuse that within 2 cycles. Just grab the one of the colored pearls, you'll give it to the scavs, and then it will be left outside of the scav merchant area for you to grab next cycle and put back in with them, if you have that option on.
Oh, Cozy being pursued by a rocket lizard. Question is, they need to finish eating. Sigma made their way to a merchant.
Yes, going for the trade within this section. There are quite a few pearls on the right side of the bridge that could be gone for, but it looks like they're heading off towards other spares to trade.
All right, Cozy locking in the Vista.
Sigma going to trade many spares to constantly pass back that value.
That arrow is becoming very dangerous, and Blue is not... Well, they are in position to be able to block it. Knuckles could get the Yeek, and anyone could really bomb the pink lizard. It is a very simple one.
Yeah, looks like Kian with that refaction cell is making their way towards Shoreline as well, but grabbing food first before heading off.
Yeah, I believe I saw Knuckles mousing over the Yeek square specifically, so I think they're on the wavelength of trying to go for that block. Cozy and UK not really in any position to threaten that one at all, but at the very least, it's going to force Blue to take time to get that.
I believe taking that underside is also a great idea because there is a Hazer spawn along that underside that you could take, swallow that, and then take it to Subterranean. You'd get the Yeek and the Hazer in a single swoop here.
That would be quite the coup. Oh, Sigma. Did Sigma perish?
I believe they may have died. I wasn't looking. I'm assuming they died in the Shaded Bridge. It's the place to die if there is one.
I think they might have passaged actually because they were back in industrial.
They're full karma. Yeah, they did passage. It looks like.
Knuckles once again
Interesting
contending
choice.
with the steps, I believe.
I'm not sure why you would do that in Sigma's position. The two options in Shoreline are pretty easy to get, and using your passage to escape there seems like the best place.
No! Right at the jaws of the eel lizard down there. Cozy Gifts actually down at the Scav Merchants. I think they're going for the caramel kill here. But the caramel, unfortunately, is in a very bad position. There are a lot of spears. I think they got the double spear. Yep. That is, I believe, their second caramel kill. A nice little alliteration there.
I believe
Question is-
Sigma may have passaged to try and get an explosive to kill a pink to block off this line. Because right now, the only thing that the Warrior Cats are really threatening is the left side column.
Knuckles, it seems, is tired of getting schlorped by worm grass and is depending on deer to get across the worm steps, but I don't think they have the tweaked deer AI, so they're at the mercy of default AI in them actually moving.
Yes. Dealing with
Sigma
these creatures. Bingo is
Sigma's
beautiful.
saved from the centipede by an emergency spore puff in their stomach.
Pretty ingenious to still have that here. Although this is a caramel kill if he decides to just pick up any explosive spear. That's a really wonderful square if he goes for it. And it looks like he is going to get this kill.
Oh, for a second there, I thought he was going to get chomped before it finished dying.
Just barely dodging a lethal bite. I believe he did get bit there and carried a bit, but he didn't die. That is incredibly close. I think maybe he's gone back actually to go for these caramel kills. Knowing there's explosive spears here. This reindeer on Knuckles is being very uncooperative. Oh! They have finally turned, but this has
do
been
they have
an
a
absolute
bomb?
hell cycle. That is an explosive. All he has to
Can
do
they
is
get it
calm down.
in the right?
And there it is.
Oh, they got it.
He could also just pick up this bad note.
Strange vulture T-posing up in the sky on Cozy's. Okay, it looks like it's deciding to move.
Cozy has just gotten the points goal by killing this kelp, and so they can just pop right down and sleep, lock this in. This is a pretty huge square for them. I think it's the first one they've gotten in quite a while.
Unfortunately, it's not as significant as the caramel one would be.
Yeah.
The diagonal is going to be dangerous.
If I'm right, I believe Knuckles has swallowed the hazer in the room they were just in, and now they've gotten a reindeer with no need for a spore puff. Hopefully that guy, after some long deliberation, decides to move left.
I believe Cozy still has the vulture grub in their stomach, and I believe they're heading down to drainage, possibly subterranean. So they could be going for ascending the grub.
This would also open up going towards that dodge a Leviathan bite, but with no rarefaction cell in this position, heading to sub is a pretty rough commitment. Although they should be able to also grab a hazer and drainage and head into subterranean here. I mean, snagging that second goal makes this quite worth it.
That's true. They do need to try and get more points on the board. Both teams doing a pretty good job of blocking each other off. There's only two more possible bingos. The diagonal for anybody, top right to bottom left, as well as column delta for blue.
Yeah. There's also blue row 2.
That is true as well. UK has not finished their Batnip acquisition. They kind of seem to have abandoned that.
Sigma gone
Oh,
for a fight with the scavs here, and has been absolutely annihilated.
I don't
Whereas
know if they were
Knuckles,
thinking about points or if they just wanted to mulligan that cycle.
I believe they wanted to grab explosive spares from that stash to kill caramel lizards yet again. But just not working out this time. The scavs saw him coming and were not too happy about it.
You keep with the rarefaction cell, they could be getting the Leviathan dodge.
Yeah, they're heading over towards Moon, I believe, just expecting, as you always expect, a Leviathan to be at the Moon entrance. But
Leviathan, Leviathan, Leviathan,
there,
Leviathan. I see the tentacles. Leviathan, Leviathan. Now they just
if this
need
Leviathan
to
doesn't
get it.
ram their head into the wall like they are right now, they should spot Kian and give that bomb a chomp. But it looks like, yet again, earlier today, Kian was doing practice attempting to get eaten by a Leviathan, and it was doing this exact thing. It was ramming its head into the wall, trolling him for an entire cycle. And yet again, this Leviathan is being very, very difficult.
Sigma getting a better stash this time, able to mug an explosive spear and blow up a caramel. They only need one more caramel to lock in the crucial center square.
And he's on an absolute warpath here, heading towards the garbage site, and there it is.
Boy, there is number 4. Cozy may have gotten the total points, but Sigma's got the called target caramel. They just got to make their way to a shelter without getting chomped by the others.
Cozy is 100% going to make it to Subterranean first, as they're at the gate now with, I believe, a Hazer and a Vulture Grub.
I don't see anything in their grippers. I don't think they got. I don't think they. Oh, there it is.
They have a Hazer, but looks like
they might have dropped the grub, because it looked like they dropped the Hazer out of their mouth.
Yeah, the Hazer's gone and consumed, but I don't believe they have the grub. Kian here taking his second try. This time there is no Leviathan in the room. Very unfortunate. But there's plenty more rooms where those roaming Leviathans could be.
Sigma still taking it very, very safe.
Locking
All right, Cozy locking in the Hazer to Subterranean. Makes sense. Makes sense.
This is scary
Sigma
for
went in
Nacu.
the wrong pipe.
Knuckles now has to question whether continuing along this line is a good idea, but they are still going for those yeeks. I think, yeah, here we see Cozy after going into Subterranean sleeps immediately at the drainage side gate and immediately gets out of there. There's no good reason to be in sub if your teammate is already positioned to go for it, to go for this Leviathan dodge and bite.
Sigma just frantically trying to figure out which shelter is the safest to get to. There's all sorts of danger.
There was no good reason to kill. Oh no, he died. He died it before, and now he's going for his foot.
Oh no.
And now is in position to go for it. If they have the food, they should be able to lock in this objective immediately here.
That's dangerous, because I believe Cozy just burned their passage getting to Industrial, thinking to do the caramel murder the same.
But this is a huge snipe from Sigma here. Kian really the only hope for the Warrior Cats to stay in this game at this point. These two objectives, if he finds this damn Leviathan, he's been searching left and right, and he hasn't encountered one yet. After that previous cycle, tragically having to deal with this absolute troll, is now desperately searching. I think this is maybe his fifth room.
Very shy Leviathan. Taking a rain check, probably vacationing down in the submerged superstructure.
Yeah, certainly. Knuckles here.
I think gonna go get themselves perished so they can mulligan.
Yeah.
Looks like Cozy might be going for the
Oh no.
lures.
This is mighty unfortunate here. Knuckles has dropped a spore puff in a position in which the deer cannot reach it, and now the deer is merely stuck and has no idea what to do. That every now and then they try and reach down and they don't reach it, and so Knuckles is desperately trying to grab it.
Poor Knuckles, having 0 deer luck. Truly one of the most diabolical creatures in the entire game. Sigma looking to be going to Pipe Yard.
All those batnips, I believe.
There's Batnips. There's the Pipe Yard Pearl. It does many things, and even if the Warrior Cats get the block with the rarefaction cell from Yuki, Blue has a lot of squares on the board.
Yeah, Knuckles making it down. It looks like they're strategizing positioning. Going for those garbage waste pins and the Sky Island's Echo here are pretty safe options. Very hard to contest. But it looks like Cozy is heading up. Maybe towards Sky Islands.
Maybe they did store a couple fly lures I saw. And then there's going to be one more to the screen to the right, as far as the industrial ones go.
Knuckles has
2 more over there.
A yeek.
And then all they need to do is take it out.
And then sleep. Although with the yeek, you can very easily... Oh, they're first banking their progress. I completely understand after
very
dealing with reindeer for
understandable.
that long. I do not want to go back.
Yeah, the worm steps were giving Knuckles a lot of suffering. Yuki constantly searching for big friend Leviathan.
Another very good reason to go for the sleep with the yeek here is for its funny sound.
The honkers truly are a Slugcat's best friend. I think UK's trying to
kill
perish.
Here.
This is the most friendly eel lizard ever.
I've never seen this bad creature like before in my life. Like it.
Yuki every time he wants get a break.
Yeah, nothing wants to kill him in this game.
If he wants to die, it doesn't kill him.
Am I seeing this correctly? Is Knuckles opting to go for the Echo Pop in an attempt to lock in progress? I'm not sure if that works. I believe it reverts the progress, and so you don't actually get anything from popping the Echo here. Thank goodness they're put back with the yeek, but that does not work. You need to go up and sleep. It's pretty easy to do. You can go up.
Oh, Sigma is storing fly lures. As we mentioned, there are a ton. Now they're dropping down, I believe, into the Pearl location. It is very simple to crawl down and snag that, and the shelter is right there for them to lock it in. That is going to be very unfortunate for the Warrior Cats, because it was a pretty simple one.
Knuckles here opting to eat food on the farm array side before crossing over and sleeping, although there are lots of spares and popcorn plants just above if you use your yeek to get that extra jump boost and jump up.
I mean, even with a backflip, I think Ruffles can make it to the up pipe. So I'm worried they may have just forgotten about the up shelter and might be intending to fall down into the subterranean shelter with their good friend Honker, who decided to go climbing into the ceiling.
I mean, don't question what geeks do, man. Those now that they have brains, they can achieve anything.
True facts. Cozy going for a couple more Batfly lures in outskirts.
He finally hits with the Leviathan, although they are desperately running towards the wall. No! Yes!
Oh, they got it!
With his last dying breath, he
successfully did a block.
I've never been more happy to see a man get blasted to smithereens.
Mission accomplished. Go home,
and now
Ruffles.
He merely has to go back to that Leviathan and dodge a bite. This lock-in is huge though. It does block off that line. I think, based on the progress here, but based on the
Yeah,
progress
it's
here, blocking off that line seems like a very good option for the warrior cats. Although Knuckles here is going to lock in this yeek to farm arrays. Sorry, a yeek out of farm arrays.
yeah, the numbers are not looking good for the warrior cats raw score wise. So right now we've got 10 for Cryptic and 8 for or 11 for Cryptic with that yeek lock in. So we got 11 to 8 board. We have 3, 4, 5, 6 open spaces.
Yeah, keep in mind 13 is majority, so 2 more are needed for the Cryptics here to close it out.
Yeah, I think Sigma is about to get Batfly lures.
Yep, locking it in here.
Yeah,
Cozy's that leaves
route
one left.
Unfortunately, going between industrial and outskirts is just too large compared to Pipe Yard's condensed one.
A tragic snipe here for Cozy. The options left is Kian snagging this Dodger Leviathan and then probably heading to Garbage Waste to pin unless Cozy goes straight for it here. Garbage Waste also gives you access to the merchant trade, though Sigma has already made partial progress on that. A single trade with a pearl for Sigma will get, I believe, will get the progress for them.
Cozy can pull off a very large coup if they could get the trade, bomb, and pin all in the same cycle. It's very possible, all in Garbage Waste, and that would narrow the game down quite a lot.
In here, looking at the passage screen, this is a very risky one, I believe. Going for that Leviathan dodge is I believe, the only way to win. They need to snag everything on the board in this position to win.
Yeah, they need everything they can get to deny it from their opponents. On the other hand, I don't know, they might be banking on the Cryptic not even worrying about the dodge of the Leviathan at the moment and trying to full court press on blocking the Garbage Waste ones, because there are a lot of sort of easy ones. The Sky Islands Echo is very easy. The Garbage Waste ones
there, I believe. Yeah. Cryptic only need one more to win here, so Knuckles is looking to move towards Sky Islands, I believe, via farm arrays to head up towards that Echo. Cozy taking a death here, not good in this position. You need to be moving as fast as possible.
Yeah, Outskirts is a very bad place for Cozy to be in. They're very far from threatening any squares.
Going for this backflip, but the spits just are so annoying from this Caramel Lizard.
Caramel Lizard's not practicing... well, they're practicing social distancing, but they're still being very unsanitary.
A wonderful combination there. Sigma... Knuckles sitting AFK looking at the map, gets sniped by a vulture. This is absolutely tragic. They needed that
donating their body to the vulture, possibly to try and obtain some luck.
That could be it. A sacrifice to guarantee safety and safe passage through the toll up ahead.
Cozy mousing over the bomb Garbage Wastes might be one. I mean, again, there are so many very easy ones, and the Cryptic only need to get one, whereas the Warrior Cats are on defense. UK is going for the Merchant.
This is a great move from Kian here. With 2 pearls in hand, this should be achievable instantly, provided that guy doesn't leave like he just did.
Oh, no!
This is okay, this is okay. He can easily sleep, run back the cycle, grab like the communications pearl, I believe that... Does that exist for Rivulet? No, right? There shouldn't be the communications pearl in that position. No, there is. Just above the scavenger merchant.
Oh, Cozy getting chomped by a rocket lizard.
Sigma in a very interesting position
Sigma
here, a very
also.
noisy area. Oh my goodness,
they're
that's
making their way to
cyan lizard.
garbage waste. Absolutely blessed. It
That
seems
cyan
Sigma
lizard
is
got smashed.
siphoning all of the luck from Cozy.
Yeah, I think
Yuki making their
Knuckles'
way back to the
sacrifice may
merchant.
have paid off. The amount of bat flies there.
Yuki
Sigma just waiting
chucking
for
a
traffic
pearl
here.
at the merchant. Might
Take
miss
my
that. It
money,
won't
man.
take the dang thing.
Of course, important thing about the merchant is that they have to see you throw it and then drop an item. If they don't drop an item, they have not traded and it will not give you anything. Ian trying to trade, but the merchant doesn't care. He's straight up just ignoring him, looking away, pretending that nothing's happening. And now look at this epic distraction, completely delaying this.
Oh no!
Ian being robbed again and again and again and again by creature RNG. This is so unlucky.
I wish to exchange goods for services. I give you pearl, you give me reputation.
I've never seen a man be robbed so much.
Meanwhile, the merchant, ooh, lantern mice. Pretty
What's that
lights.
sound?
Smells
Knuckles
like panic.
grabbing a good Carter and heading back towards outskirts side. Am I seeing that right? Yeah, that looks like what they're doing.
No, they're going up the Sky Islands, it looks like. But that's not the right zone for it.
This is, I believe,
this is not the right zone for it.
Yeah.
Wondering if they might have gotten mixed up?
Yeah, I believe this is the bottom side where you need to head all the way right in this room to begin heading up towards the toll.
Yeah, I'm not sure why else they'd have a squid cicada.
Oh no, no,
There you
never
go.
mind. I'm incorrect. They've already made it up. Oh my goodness, Sigma just barely dodging that vulture who was on an absolute warpath. Now heading up towards the scavenger merchant within garbage waste, where Kian has finally found a shelter and begun his trade. I think he's going to get sniped because of extremely poor luck. Although Sigma has nothing to trade. Heading over probably towards the pearl on the right side room if he knows it exists.
Oh, this is it's coming down to a nail biter between whoever can get blessed by the merchant.
Yes. If Sigma
has
knows
the
about the
silver
pearl within
tongue?
this room, they might go for that. Or going for a vulture mask for a trade? This is incredibly bold.
Oh, that would have been pretty great, but it did not fall off. Unfortunate.
Going back for it. This is incredibly greedy. Why is he not
That is
biting?
the most chill vulture ever. What is going on?
What? Oh.
Cozy going to chimney rather than to garbage wastes. That seems like a dangerous choice. Unless they're resting up there so they can go down to garbage waste, but
Sigma now heading down to the right side. There's going to be guaranteed spare spawns here as they expect you to need them to cross up in this room. So grabbing these spares and then just backflipping up should be enough. Or maybe even going for a wall pounce like they did there.
yeah.
Knuckles is through the toll.
Oh no, Yuki got robbed again. No merchant credit for that spear. Oh, that is
This can't be happening.
brutal.
Spare number 2 here. Dropping it. He gets the trade, but that's not enough value. He's at 13 of 20, I believe, here. And the merchant leaves!
No!
Dude. This is actually the saddest thing. Sigma here trying to wall pounce back up with his second spear. Makes it up. If he gets this, I believe it's over.
Cozy once again getting chomped. I don't know. Cozy going for the Sky Islands Echo. But that's leaving the 2 garbage waste options wide open for Cryptic to snag.
Knuckles here moving up, using that rivulet movement to skip a massive amount of this room if they do If they do pull it off, which I believe they can pretty
you could get some.
reliably here.
You could get some points, and the merchant didn't leave, but I don't think it's 20, so they're gonna have to look for some more.
I'm not sure if they grabbed.
Oh no!
Sigma's angered the worms, but more importantly here, the path is open for them. I believe they're just heading right. Oh.
Unless they get garbage wormed.
I believe if Sigma sleeps here, they just had to grab a couple bits of food. These garbage worms are furious, though.
Oh! They're making it through.
Past, I believe.
You have an explosive spear, but does it need to be a bomb, or can an explosive spear count for blowing up the toll?
I believe it has to be a scavenger bomb specifically. Any other explosive doesn't count here. Alright, Sigma's just about to lock in the scavenger trade value, I believe.
Did they get the full 20, or is it just progress?
I'm not certain. I wasn't looking at the time they actually made the trade. I was staring at Kian being robbed again.
Yeah.
Knuckles here making it to the Sky Islands gate as well. This is substantially further ahead than Cozy, who has to sleep a few times before they can even pop the Echo. Looks like Sigma just made progress. They didn't actually pull it off. They have to head back towards it, but now they're closer in position to head towards maybe the toll and pass, which is a very risky one. Or they're going for the pins here.
I mean, they could. The problem, I think the problem the Warrior Cats are going to run into is even if they get the Merchant, even if they get the Sky Islands, Cryptic have set themselves up for a double bind in that they have a person in garbage wastes and they only need one of those. So even if they lose out on the Merchant, even if they lose out on the Sky Islands, it's going to be a long time for the Warrior Cats to be able to defend the garbage waste items. And Team Cryptic, Knuckles can then just switch to going for Vulture Grub Ascension while Sigma focuses on the scavenger-related garbage wastes items.
Sigma being robbed here, but it doesn't really matter if they grab this pearl up here. Instead opting to go for... I believe they didn't actually grab the pearl, they just took the upper path, so they have a spare, which should be fine for trading.
They made sure to get enough food, so as soon as they get the thing, they're ready to rest.
Yeah.
They can get up into the pipe.
Cozy into Sky Islands at around the same time as Knuckles here, but Knuckles is much, much closer to the Echo. Getting more progress here, but it's not enough. He needs more. And there it is.
Sigma has it. They just need to lock in the rest.
Ian's also in position to grab it. If this damn game... He could drop it in front of him, but he instead expects to trade on specifically the trading floor. Makes progress, but he's 20. Back to 13.
Oh, it's not 20.
Oh, no.
Warrior Cats really need to send bad luck towards the Cryptics and they have them start perishing a bunch.
Knuckles needs to start dying and slowing down here. A single cycle slept at the top section here will pop this Echo.
Oh, and Sigma's right at a rest.
It's over.
Oh, no.
That is good game. Looks like here we have the Cryptic securing their last objective, getting the majority win here over the Warrior Cats with the scavenger trade.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Wow. What a wild game for our players tonight. From an underhang start, mulligan into Farmerays, and then both of them off to the races. Both teams really fighting knife to hilt constantly throughout it, but Cryptic always staying just a little step ahead, and that eventually led them to victory.
Yeah. Knuckles with the stay in farm arrays for nearly the entire run gambit here paid off incredibly well, as there's just so many good objectives in and around farm arrays, where Sigma could move off and go for those more difficult, longer objectives, while Knuckles could just snag a free one and a free one and a free one, and just sort of pick off every single thing you can do in farm arrays. Really, really well played here.
Credits to UK though for being persistent in the objectives they did go for. Though they really had some bad luck with those Leviathans, but it was a very important bingo block that they were able to secure. It's just unfortunate with those scavenger merchants.
I've said it many times, but this luck for Kian with creatures has just been absolutely devastating. Just the only Leviathan he encounters decides to ram its head into a wall and hide.
It would have been...
takes him 5 more cycles to find one again.
Yeah, there are so many little things that just added up over the run for both teams here. Oh, Sigma going for a ploink flex.
Going for his victory lap here. While Cozy also is attempting to make their way over towards the Sky Island's Echo, which they will likely pop before Knuckles here. But, yeah. Absolutely unbelievably tragic here for Kian. I believe at least 15 minutes wasted due to creatures just being completely uncooperative. I'd say 15 minutes is at minimum, maybe 25. Just so much went wrong when all he needed was the predators to eat him.
Yeah, and even trying to just drown to reset the cycle, Ruffles can really hold their breath. I would almost you could just quit out probably. It's a little annoying because you go back to the title. But sometimes you gotta
beats out timing out the entire
as we saw in this match, really a lot of these core points, they really came down to seconds. So saving every little bit possible really could have flipped this board. Because really, both teams were knife fighting it out for pretty much every square. The beehives, the fly lures, the merchants, caramel kills, egg bugs. It was a constant back and forth.
Yeah, it really felt like most of the objectives that this Cryptics team picked up were ones that were contested, and they just grabbed a little bit quicker. Sigma getting that outskirts sleep first as Kian tried to get a bit greedy and take a deeper shelter in. Sigma getting the caramel kills because Cozy had given up on an attempted to splash other objectives first. Really, really tight opening here that sort of settled a lead for the Cryptics that they just got to continue to push and push. As
Sigma flexing with the Ruffles space program. Ruffles has landed safely. Mission accomplished.
All right. Well, yeah. Brilliant round. I'd love to see how both of these teams get along, because I really think this was a very closely matched game that ended up, I believe, just Cryptics taking a better line after that initial advantage. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It is double elimination, so the Warrior Cats are not down and out, and we could absolutely see a rematch in the future. They're going to be coming up from another bracket. We don't have another scheduled match, it looks like.
Our next one is in 4 days, I believe. 3-4 days on the 12th.
Yes.
For me. That will be, of course, the Yin Yang versus the Gaslighters. Two teams that I'm huge fans of. Blue Jay and Hollow specifically have been doing a lot of practice Hollow specifically has done an immense amount of practice. I'm super excited to see them on the big stage here. But we have the Cryptic moving on. That means their next opponents will be the Neuron Eaters in our wonderful caster here, Dreki, as well as the teammate
Okay.
Uranium Eater.
I guess I'm getting some inside knowledge.
This will be your next opponent, while the Warrior Cats are knocked into the lower bracket up against the full, which is Will-O-Wisp and Ira. Yeah. Wonderful match. Full of tragic storylines and impressive snipes. Yeah, can't wait to see what else we have in store at this event.
Yeah. So make sure you follow the Rain World speedrunning if you're not already to see whenever these events go live. Or check out the Rain World speedrunning Discord for any events if they pique your interest.
Yeah. Special thanks to Blue Jay for running the stream for today. I know the time for Blue Jay is pretty inconvenient, I believe. We also have Iced, and we also have Iced as our stream tech, helping out with back end communication with the players, and of course Sigma for putting this all together. Yeah, so,
absolutely.
Thanks for watching, guys. Can't wait to see you guys next time in the next bingo. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye.